31 Days of Horror, 31 Days of Halloween 2015 concludes today. Wow, what a long journey we've all been on, you know, starting with Nosferatu back in 1922 and working our way all up to the year 2014 with a film from Australia which a lot of people absolutely loved. And you know what? I'm one of them. This is a really, really, really good movie. It is called The Babadook. Now, if you're asking me what the problem with this film, why it never really took off or got a wide audience, well, there you go right there. It's called The Babadook. When I hear something called The Babadook, like, I'm thinking it's like a sequel to Marmaduke, and that's just not working for me. You know, I didn't really... You know, they actually made a Marmaduke live-action movie? Like, how did that happen? How do these things go and occur in real life without me, like, noticing them until, you know, 8 years later? But anyway, beyond my nostalgic musings about Marmaduke, The Babadook is a great, 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 great horror film. Almost teetering on being a legitimately great film outside of the genre. I mean, almost there. I mean, I came very close to pushing the button, but, you know, on a repeat viewing, you know, I don't think it had the same effect, so it's going to be kind of points off. So anyway, this film is about... well, I'm trying to say how much I can say without giving away the plot, but it's a film about a single mom. She's a single mom because her husband died in a car crash. The kid survived, and the kid apparently has some sort of unspecified behavioral disorder. You know, maybe he's got ASD, maybe he's got Asperger's, maybe he's got ADHD, maybe he's got conduct disorder. You know, we don't really know. Or maybe he doesn't have any disorder whatsoever. Maybe he's just going through a really hard time in his life, and he keeps getting put in really crappy situations, and you just don't know what to do. So basically, this film, once again, is kind of targeting one of those age-old fears, and that is targeting adults, which is kind of weird, because most horror films are from the kid's perspective, right? Nobody believes you, you don't understand the world, you can't really do anything for this, you don't have any responsibilities, so on and so forth. Well, this one is from the exact opposite lens, where it's from the adult's perspective. And it's about this person having responsibility and not feeling that she's able to do it, and just not being able to manage her own stuff and feeling slighted. So, interesting stuff there. So anyway, she's going through all this stuff, and the kid is really acting out, and he's doing some crazy things, you know, like allegedly he's beating up other kids. So it's kind of focusing on a real life worry. Like, if I was a parent, you know, and this stuff would happen to my kid, I would be freaked out. And the kid keeps going on and on about this thing called the Babadook. You know, it's like an imaginary monster or something that's telling her to do evil things. And slowly but surely, the mom kind of succumbs to the same madness. Like, she just can't handle the pressure. You know, she wants a man, but she has to take care of the kid. And one day she gets a book allegedly from the Babadook, with some really, really ominous and gruesome kids' drawings in them. And from there on, if I kind of say anything about the movie, you know, I'd have to spoil it, but rest assured, this is a good movie. I mean, you know, there's not that many really great, suspenseful, freaky, legitimate horror films nowadays, but this is one of them. This is not a meta horror film. It's not some horror comedy. It's not trying to pay homage or be something above the genre. It's just about capitalizing on a really specific fear, which is, of course, being a bad parent, and really throwing in some creepy things. And now the Babadook himself, I think, is kind of boring. He just looks like, I don't know, it looks like powder. I mean, it's a very generic design. You know, he's kind of a Slender Man thing. But the circumstances he puts these people in, I think, is really, really sort of foreboding. And there's a lot of, like, foreshadowing where, like, the mom's having, like, hallucinations of, like, news reports, which I think is very, very, very effective. Now, I will say one thing, and this is the only spoiler, and I'm going to keep this incredibly vague, but this could be a deal breaker. If you know me, and you should, if you're watching all these damn videos, I am a Bichon Frise-aholic. I love Bichon Frise. That's like one of my dream jobs, is to be like a Bichon Frise, like, reporter for like a Bichon maintenance and repair or whatever, a Bichon Care magazine. So I have an affinity for Bichons. There is a Bichon in The Babadook. The Babadook is a horror film. In horror films, bad, unspeakably horrible things tend to happen. Once again, the Babadook, there is a Bichon in this movie, and the Babadook is a horror film. So if you're someone who loves Bichons, you should not watch this movie. Done. Not saying anything else. Don't. It was a hard thing for me to go through, but just throwing that out there. Don't. It's just a very hard scene. I don't care if the kid gets killed. The kid can die like 40 times. Doesn't bother me. But anybody who goes near the Bichon, then the director's gone too far. So anyway, all that to say, like I said, it's just a great movie. I mean, very, very well done. Acting is terrific. Very suspenseful, atmospheric as heck. Just very, very well produced. I mean, the timing is great. The way it's structured, the narrative is fantastic. And like I said, it's one of those films where it just takes a very specific fear from an adult angle and builds just a really, really just gripping narrative around it. Now, it's one of those movies where the first time you watch it, you're like, oh my god, this is one of the best horror films ever. But then you watch on the second go about it, and sort of the shock's taken away. It does take a considerable hit in quality, because then you're just kind of like saying, okay, well, let's kind of piece together where this happens. And it doesn't really kind of have the same replay value as something like, The Exorcist or The Evil Dead has. So that's kind of keeping it a little bit from being a truly great genre offering. But yeah, I mean, just in general, this is terrific. This is a very, very good horror film, and if you're looking for something decent from the modern era, check it out. So the Babadook, giving it 3.5 pieces of candy corn out of 4. Almost 4 candy corn pieces, but just shy a little, but only by a little. So if you're looking for something to watch tonight, grab your girl, grab your guy, grab your non-gender specific cohort analog, whatever you want to do, and check it out, because it's actually pretty good. I think it's still on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, well there you go. 31 Days of Horror. We actually did this stupid thing. We went through all of these movies, and will I be doing this again next year? Oh my god, no. Not at all. But thanks for viewing. I'll see you again eventually. Take care, and happy Halloween.